All right.
All right. Boom. We in the gym. Fucking the EJ's gym. A guide to elevate your mindset. Yo, I got another special guest on the line, Miami Central Rocket original. I'll let him introduce himself.
Yo, what they do, man? This Marcus, man, out of Miami, man. Miami Central, #2, class of 2003.
Okay, big Marcus Daniels. Yo, hey Marcus, look, I'm gonna tell you that. I remember back because we graduated together when we were freshmen. You played with Willis and them boys.
Yep.
Yeah. So tell me that experience with that team. Because that was a power team right there, dog.
Man, that experience there was like none other, man.
Mm-hmm.
So coming in there, it
Mm-hmm.
man, to take you back to that day, let me tell you, all right, as a ninth grader coming from eighth grade, coming from middle school, and then seeing the size of them guys, man,
Huge.
the size of Willis, the size of, remember Hands, the
Yes.
linebacker?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Right.
Yo, listen, man, just being on the field with them, because man, I had a choice to say no. Like,
Mm-hmm.
nah, man, I stay down and play with everybody else. I mean, I just took myself to that level,
Right.
and I had to make it happen. Because,
Mm-hmm.
man, them boys were hitting too.
Right. 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 Right.
Them boys wasn't playing. So man, I just took that chance because the coaches saw something in me. Like, I believe we was in practice, and I don't know which coach it was, but they saw something in me, and it was like, hey man, how about playing varsity? I was like, varsity. I was like,
Mm.
man, y'all crazy, man. So I practiced 1 week with JV,
Right.
and then that next week, man, I went straight up to varsity. So like since that day, I ain't know nothing about playing varsity. So like I went straight to I ain't know nothing about JV. I went straight to varsity.
Right. 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 And on a power team, though.
A power team.
So how many games did you play in, or do you remember any of the games?
I played every game. I
Wow.
played every game. Like I might have not shined, but I played every game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's what's up, man. All right. So I remember that year. You wore what number you wore? You were like 88 or something like that.
Yeah, the coach gave me 88. So I'm like, man, why? I said, man, why? I said, why 88? He was like, man, you got to think of 88. Like, look at the stars to play 88. So he was like, man, look at Michael Irvin. That's what he said. Look at Michael Irvin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he said, look at the player that he said that wore 88. So he was like, man, we're gonna give you 88 because you remind me of Michael Irvin. I was like, man, all right, whatever.
That's
Like,
big
come on, man,
time
man,
right
let's
there,
do it.
though.
Hmm.
So what type of players did you look up to? Did you even look up the guys like Irvin or Rice or who?
Man, I was kind of cause like I didn't have a player with like who I really looked at. I like all receivers, so like I used to watch all the wide receivers, the Jerry Rice, the Michael Irvins,
Mm-hmm.
the Tim Browns, like I used to watch everybody.
Got you. That's
Hmm.
what's up, man. Okay, so all right, so from then on, sophomore year, I played that year on varsity that year with you. So how was that year like for you?
If you take it back to sophomore year, if you remember sophomore year, man, I didn't play sophomore
I
year.
know, I know. Your hamstring.
Nah, man, I
Was it
stopped
a
going to school my sophomore year,
Oh, really?
man. I stopped going to school. When I was into some stuff my sophomore year, man. Like, see, like
Really?
people don't remember because it was quietly happening. I didn't play at
Wow.
all my
I thought it
sophomore
was your
year.
hamstring.
That was my junior year.
Mm.
Sophomore year, man, I was in the stands watching y'all play, man. I basically dropped out of school, man.
Really?
Yeah, man. Nobody really knew about that. I did not play
Wow.
my sophomore year. I did not play. I was not going to school. I was at the sun shop majority of the time my sophomore year.
For real?
Yeah,
So
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 so so
go ahead.
so let me give you the story on that, man.
Hmm.
So sophomore year, man, I didn't have the grades,
Hmm.
and I kind of baby like I mean baby I basically just stopped playing.
Hmm.
So so let me tell you the story, man. It's funny, right?
Mhm.
So that's when Nuke came that year, I sophomore year.
Okay. Yeah.
And that was the first year that Central beat the West in a long time.
I remember that was my first year playing on varsity.
Right. So
Mhm.
so man, I was in the stands that year, and
Wow.
man, like everybody went crazy that year.
I
Central beat
remember
the West for the first time in a
everybody
long time.
everybody took off and ran on the field. They were jumping on us and everything,
Yeah.
man.
And guess where I was looking at everything in the stands, and everybody looking at me like, "Why you
Wow.
not playing?" So man, I
Wow.
felt bad, man. I felt bad. Um, so to get my grades and everything right, man, I had to, like I felt real bad because the fans, like the stands, everybody made me feel like trash up there. That year. So like I had to make a decision to get it right or live with that.
Mhm.
So like I had to get all my grades right. I had to go to night school. I had to do night school at the West. I had to take classes at Turner Tech and at Dorsey. I had to take classes just to get all my credits and get everything right to get back on the team. There's only a couple
Wow.
people that knew that.
Wow. So
Coach
so
like
go ahead.
Coach Fields knew.
Mhm.
I think Heidelberg and Fields, I think was the one that helped me get my grades right. But I was
Mhm.
done with school in 10th grade, man.
Wow. So what made you like not like I'm like I don't care about school?
Um, just the grades, man. Like once the grades, and I had to get it right, man. I ain't care, like like I really wasn't the football guy yet. Man, I had the talent, but I really didn't put the effort into to staying in school or man, I was just out and about, just floating with the wind. Yeah,
Mhm.
like I come to school. My mama didn't know I come to school because I stayed right around the corner. Remember?
Wow. So,
My mama ain't know, so like me making these bad decisions was easy because I could just walk to school. I go to school and walk
wow.
right out and go straight to the sub shop,
Wow. And then you go home after that.
and then I go home after that.
Wow. And like so when did your mom ever find out or she was like,
I mean, eventually she found out because like when you're not going to school, ain't really much that you can do when them schools call. Like unless you home to answer them phones when you get them calls.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So but yeah, man, that was like the worst. That was like the worst time in high school for me was when Central beat the West and I wasn't a part of it. And
Wow.
then you know how people in Miami is, but they're not finna let you rest about that. Oh, Central beat the West and you up here in the stands and you doing this, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I ain't want to hear that. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, man. I like to mess with my little cousin because he played at the West, man. We ain't never lose to them. Ali, like all us, we ain't never lose to them boys. I know you played
mm-mm.
that freshman year. I didn't play varsity that year. I don't know about Ali, but like
Man,
from
I
my
took one
sophomore
L
year,
to them boys,
you took
man.
one L.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
took one L to them boys my
Okay,
freshman year.
okay. So
Mm-hmm.
moving to junior year, I remember like okay, I remember I think you played the first game. Did you score or what do you remember about the
Played a
junior year?
couple games and the hamstring wasn't right. The hamstring wasn't giving in. And man, I think I over pushed it trying to get right because I had something to prove to everybody. And they gave me that deuce.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
and I got the deuce.
right,
So like it was me and Newt. They were like they was already giving us the name, the 1-2 punch, the 1-2 this, the 1-2 that, and
right.
that he like that. Yeah, man, I like that hamstring. That hamstring, man, that hamstring bothered me all the way up until now. I still have problems with that hamstring.
For
Like like
real.
some injury just don't let like it just let you. It don't let you live. Like I played on it, but I always had problems with hamstrings for some reason.
Wow. And I remember because like I think I got hurt like Carroll City or Norland game, and I was in the training room get my
Mm-hmm.
ankle situated, and you were back there. They were like there was something in your hand trying to get you right.
Rolling it, massaging it, rubbing it
Yeah.
down,
And I'm like, what?
praying over it, like.
I remember, man. I remember. All right, so fast forward senior year. I know you still had issues, but that your full like first healthy year?
My senior year was my full. healthy. That year wasn't even fully healthy, but I played through it because
Right.
that's what we taught to do as football players. Either you hurt or you hurt or you playing.
Right.
So I played through a lot of injuries, and even that that year I still had the hamstring injuries, and I just fought through it. I strengthened it I strengthened it up during track season.
Right.
So Coach Rose
Right.
showed me how to play
Right.
through or to keep it healthy. So like every game I did certain things. I stretched, rubbed it out, went to the trainers and I got everything right before the game.
Yeah.
And then we took that bus ride and then I warm up, I stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And for the people that got in front of me, man, they know how powerful this hamstring is. Because
Yeah.
once I open up, I open up.
Gone.
Mm-hmm.
Gone. Man, Coach Rose, that's a legend, man. That's another guy, man,
That's
who
a
helped
legend, man.
all of us out, man, to the next level, because the things that he taught us definitely even helped me for college. But
Man, the stuff that he taught me, it helped me from my junior year,
mm-hmm.
my senior year, all the way through college. Even now, like some of the kids now, like because like I told you before, I don't talk about football much. So,
Mm-hmm.
like when the kids, like they challenge me, I still be beating the kids and racing around here. Like I'm not saying I still got it, but
Yeah.
just off of technique alone, that what Coach Rowe taught me, I beat these kids in the race just off of technique, not speed, because I'm not as fast as I was then, but just
Yeah.
technique alone, I'll beat them, smoke them.
Right.
Next,
Right.
next.
Hey, and I had Demetrius on the line. Matter of fact, that was the last one that I did. I don't know if you
Who,
watched it.
Demetrius Bird? Oh man, that was I think he a clown, man.
Yes, Demetrius is still
Yeah,
a
man.
clown, man.
Demetrius Bird, man. That boy is legendary, man.
Yes. Hey, he said, man, track season day, you were hot. I guess y'all was supposed to run a 4x4 or something like that, and you got hot. You was mad at him. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. We was it was his sophomore year, I think it was our senior year.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had Demetrius Bird. So
Mm-hmm.
so we like we had a good team that year too.
Man, we had a great track team,
Yeah,
dude.
we had a great track team. So we had so we were trying to put together the 4x1
Mm-hmm.
and a 4x4 team. So I think we had to do like a runoff with the 4x1. So
Okay.
with the 4x1, we had a lot of runners on our team. And we had to do a runoff. So like what a runoff is so you got the people that want to run first leg,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna pair up.
Mm-hmm.
You got the people that want to run second leg, you're gonna pair up, third
Right.
leg, you pair up, and last leg, pair up, and we're gonna have a race.
Right.
Whoever win, that's who gonna be the starters in that the starters in that event. That's cool. That's who's gonna run that event.
Mm-hmm.
And that year I beat Demetrius Bird
Mm-hmm.
in the second leg.
Right.
And I think
Mm-hmm.
Courtney and Regis battled for the first leg. Me and Demetrius battled for second leg.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't think of who it was for the third leg. And it was
Well,
Ant
and somebody.
and Willie. Ant
Oh,
and
for
Willie for
last leg.
last leg.
Okay.
Right.
I thought Ant
So
was third leg. No. No.
Ant was always last leg because he had, like he had them blazers, I right to break his back if anything.
Yeah.
So how it went, I cannot remember who it was on that third leg, but
No,
so
that Marvin was the year before. I don't remember.
I don't remember neither. So Courtney won, so he was the
Mm-hmm.
first leg.
Mm-hmm.
And then I beat out Demetrius.
Right.
Like I beat out Bird on second leg, and this is gonna drive me crazy all day to remember who that third leg, right? Who that third leg race was.
Was it Lil Marcus?
It was LaMarcus and some, but I
Right.
still don't know who it was. I don't know who that battle was.
Uh-huh.
And it was Ant and Willie. So Ant beat Willie. So Ant was last leg, but they ended up moving Willie to
The
third
third
leg.
leg. Okay.
And I was second leg, and then Courtney was first leg.
Right. Right, man.
So,
Y'all boys is moving. And even the year before with Batman and New, man.
listen, I used to watch them boys. I used to be like, I got to come in and run with them.
Now, I used to try to hurry up and throw that shot in. Hey, y'all boys was moving, boy. Man.
But far as Bird,
Yeah.
so you know, man, I was still learning how to run. Like I had all the speed in the world, but if like people would tell you, track ain't always about the speed because you can be the fastest person, but if you don't have that technique, you're gonna get blown out the gates.
Right.
So like I got a funny story on that too. But so like once we got done with that, we needed a 4x4 team. And I knew we had a 4x4 team that nobody probably would have messed with. And that piece that we needed was Bird. I don't know what happened with Bird, man. Bird just stopped running. I don't know if he quit or he was frustrated or what was going on. So I was mad at him for like that whole year about that because that was that piece that we needed to go to state and win it, hands down.
Right.
Because we went to state. We had it, and I think we lost state to the West. Oh my God, yeah, we lost state to the West that year because we got DQ'd.
Yeah.
Because we got disqualified. I don't know which event or which race it was, but we got disqualified that year. We lost to the West by a couple points because of because of the points that they took away from us, and we would have won state. But let's talk about speed. Right?
Yeah.
So I always knew I was fast. Like at least I thought I was fast. You know, people used to talk about, oh, Marcus Daniel speed. So my first year really running track, I had a wake up call. So Coach Rose put me on that. I ran that 100 meter. I'm like, all right, man, let's go. And I did it like this is my first real track meet race in 100 in high school. So, they got some people on them, and I can't remember the name. So I already knew, I'm finna beat these cats, because I know I'm gonna beat them because I'm faster than them.
Right.
All right. So, so you know how it is in them track meets, right? Like before you line up, everybody ranking, everybody joking like, all right, man, I see y'all boys at the end, man. Y'all tell me how the back of my jersey look when I'm, like running.
Yeah.
So we get down in the blocks on your mark, set, bah, going like the gun go off.
Yeah.
I'm running. I'm running. By the time like I was like halfway down the track, everybody behind me. I'm blazing, EJ. I'm blazing. By the time I got down the track some more, it's like I was ahead and I started going backwards. And listen, everybody that was on that line, they shot past me, dog.
Wow.
When I say I came last in that race. I came last. Not because I was slow, because of the technique that I did wrong. So when I when I got to the end, everybody laughing at me, dog. You talking about embarrassed. Marcus Daniels come in last, 8th place at a track meet. Never again. That would never happen again. So, so I can tell you off real what happened. Like when we watched film, and I think it was Ant-Man that came and told me first. He said, "Man, I know you was gonna lose that race as soon as you started." I was like, "But I was ahead." I said, "These boys faster than you." Like, "Them boys, hell no, they not faster than you." He was like, you jumped out the blocks and stood straight up.
Yeah.
You stood straight up. Like, that's why you jumped out in front of everybody and you thought you was going to win. And then by the time you hit your max speed, them boys were just picking up their speed. And that's how you lost the race. And when I saw the film, like when we watched film, man, like that jump was so, that was like the worst. Wow. It looked so bad on film, dog. That would never happen again.
Got you. So just as an athlete, as a receiver, how did just track help you, period? Because I know it helped you with the hamstring, but you're a wide receiver and you had speed. So how did track help you overall?
The track helped me overall with not just the speed and strengthening up my like my legs, my quads, my hamstring, and all the areas that you might need to use, all the different, all the different muscles that you might need to use for stopping and going and transition from going left to right to, like to running your combat route to getting out of your brace is basically control. That's
Mm-hmm.
what track did for me, how to control my speed, because I had no control, as you can see, eighth place on my first track
Mm-hmm.
meet, eighth place, because I
Right.
had no control. I was just running,
Mm-hmm.
going with the wind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So what track did for me was teach me how to control my speed. That
Mm-hmm.
is the one thing that track did for me with Coach Rose, that it took me all through college, because my college at Rutgers, they didn't let us run track. So they didn't let us,
Really?
so it was no control. Nah, man, I mean, we tried, but man, Willie, we trust me, man, we tried every year. They only let a couple people run track on our
Oh,
football team, and we
man.
felt some type of way, but that's another story. But
Wow.
they
Wow.
did not let us run track at
Wow.
all. You
Wow.
literally you was football, and that was it. And no other sport.
Man, I would think that would be the opposite, man. But before we get to that, man, because I know you play
Mm-hmm.
with some ballers over there, man. At
Mm-hmm.
Central, are a legend, but you played with some legend and you ran with one, Batman, Newt. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? You played
Mm-hmm.
with Willie and those guys. Like out of all those guys, like what did you learn the most from anybody out of Miami Central? From Miami Central.
Well, um, with Batman, especially Batman, since he ran with the best of the best of the best. With him, at Central, especially with track and football, because he did used to come back to the games. It was like basically the consistency. That's what I learned from him. And Batman. I grew up with Batman.
Mm-hmm.
He been Batman before he was Batman,
Right.
because he was consistent with it. Like he never took no days off. He never took no days off. He was always training. He was always, so he had it in his head since he was young that I want to be the best, and he did everything it took to be the best, and that's why he is the best. So when you
He's the
bring up
best.
Rashawn Jackson,
Yes.
you look up fastest time in the world this year, fastest time in the world that year.
Metal.
Bronze Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's insane. Like you have
It
to be
is.
insane to
It
take
is.
it to them levels. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is.
So
It is.
that's what I learned from him. That's what I learned from like the Batman, the Nukes is, the Nukes is just not caring. Like how Nuke play with us, he just don't care. I'm finna go out there and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do A, B, and C. That's what I'm doing. So
That's
that's
it.
what I learned from them guys, and that's how we grew up in Miami. Like just not caring. Like
Hmm.
just go out there and be who you are.
Right. Right.
and
Right.
and that's another story that I'm gonna get into when we get into another subject about college.
Right. Right. Still, I don't know if that was 2008 when he was running in the trials and then he hit the hurdle and then I
Yeah,
don't know if you
yeah.
watched. That was the only like
Hmm.
from high school to college. I think that was the only time I saw him lose, dog.
Man, I seen him lose a couple times, but it wasn't that the guys was faster than him. And then like the funny part about Batman is short
Mm-hmm.
compared to his opponents.
Yes,
His
he
opponent
is.
was
Cause
my height and taller, like running
right.
like doing the 400 hurdles. So
Right.
Batman was always the shortest one, but he was like I said, he had the hunger
That want to.
and like he was destined to just do it, and
Right.
that's what took him so far, because he was hungry and he grind so hard, and he had the people in his corner to keep pushing him and telling him that, yo, like man, you could do it, like. And like I said, like we've been bred to do this stuff since we was young. Like
Yeah.
if people don't know anything about Miami, like we started this at a young age, and ain't nothing, like we are superstars from the time that we hit the field or the track or the court or like whatever it is that we doing. We
Right.
are bred young to be superstars, so
Mm-hmm.
we already have a name for ourselves before we even hit puberty, dog.
Right. which is
before we
true.
get one hair, like we got a name for ourselves, yo.
Which is true. But last thing I'm gonna say about Batman, I don't know if you follow him, but you should check his son out. Man, his son is a
Man,
beast.
I follow
His son
his son, his
and his
daughter, man,
daughter,
all of them
man,
beasts, man.
man, they up here,
Beasts.
they live up here where I live up too, man. Like he's
Mm-hmm.
still doing this thing, especially like with his kids and
They
his
beasts, man.
organization.
You know,
Yeah.
man, I be sending him little messages and stuff on Instagram. Like I don't know if he see him, he see him sometime, like he'll reply back to it, but I just let him know that I don't know that like I see y'all.
Okay. I'll make sure he see this, man. I try to get Batman on the line, man, so
Yeah,
we can talk
man.
about that, man. Cause and playing with Nuke, man. Nuke was he's just monster, dude. He was a monster. Everything Jenkins, Mr. Everything Jenkins, for real, man. That was,
See, me and Nuke would have been a good tag team because Nuke is like the right Flash. Nuke is the Flash and I'm the smoke.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Right.
Because Nuke is the spark that's finna get everybody attention, and I'm the smoke that's finna creep right up under everybody. You know, because I was more laid back and chill. Like Nuke is the one that's finna have the crowd going stupid.
Right.
Because when the ball get in his hand, it's like when the ball get in Nuke hand, there is a show. When
That's
the ball
it.
get in my hand, I'm finna just get the ball and I'm going straight to the end zone.
That's
I
it.
ain't
Gone.
gonna, do all the excitement because I got one thing when I get the
Upfield.
ball in my hand is upfield.
Gone. I remember.
That's how I was taught.
I remember I used to like running up tunnel screens for you. Get that first block, you turn upfield, out of there. Gone.
Take it up there.
Gone, man. You and Willie, man, y'all did y'all thing too, man. I think personally, I'm gonna get Dooney on the line too. Y'all made them boys good. Because y'all made them boys work in practice, man. Y'all made them work in practice.
Man, like we man, believe it or not, like we used to be beefing every day in practice.
Really?
Especially with especially me and the linebackers, because man, our linebackers, man, Ali and Thump, when like for some reason, like since I was the split end, the X, I was the one that always had to come across the field. And them boys used to always hit me coming across the field. And I used to get mad about that. So so like it's on today.
Right.
It's on today. Cause like if I catch one of y'all boys slipping, I'm gonna knock your chin strap loose.
Hey, I was ready for you too. I was ready. I used to beat me and Thump. We used to get into it all the time too. Hey, but I think all jokes aside, that's what made us better as a team, dog. Because we had to practice like that. You know what I mean?
Like it was war every day in practice with the offense and the defense, man. It was war, dog. And I took that same energy up to me in college because this guy that I played with in college, man, you probably need to do something with him too. His name Quintero Frierson, man. He from Gables, he went to Car Gables, and he went, he went to Rutgers with me. And he reminded me of Ali and Thump so much. Like you come across that middle, he just gonna hit you. Like he and practice, like we had to stay away from each other. Like if I catch you slipping, I'm gonna knock your chin strap loose. I'm gonna put this helmet right up under your chin. So like as a receiver, I had to be on the offensive move all the time because I had to watch for them because they don't care. They gonna hit you.
Right, and that's part of the game, man. And that's
ball,
just
like
what
ball,
it is.
Ball in your hand or no ball in your hand, they gonna hit you.
Hit you. That's part of the game, man. You got to be ready to hit. You know what I'm saying? Or you got to hit or get hit. You one of the two. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's talk about that process your senior year. You had a great year. What made you choose Rutgers, and what pool of schools did you have? And did you have a dream school that you were looking at that you wanted to go to before?
Man, I just wanted to play football. Like, believe it or not, man, I was so ignorant to exactly what school to go to for me. Because everybody wanted to go to the UM, the Virginia Tech, all the big school names, but all them schools is not fit for everybody. Right. So while I was at Central, I had West Virginia, I had Rutgers, I had NC State, Virginia Tech, Kentucky at the time. Who else? Troy. South Florida. And it's like probably like three more other schools that was like at me like crying for me. But
We
I
went.
was
Did you go to Auburn with us? Did we go to Auburn?
Auburn canceled my visit.
Oh man, I thought you went to Auburn with us too, man. It was. I think it was
I
like
took
8 of us
man,
went
I
up
was
there.
getting into man, I was getting into a lot of trouble quietly that these schools will find out about. So I had a
Got you.
visit to Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn canceled my visit.
Mm-hmm.
So the only school that I really had left that really was like clawing for me was NC State, Rutgers, West Virginia, and Virginia Tech.
And you got. I know you and Willie went up there. Did Brian go up there with you guys on your visit?
Brian went Brian. It was me, Brian, and Courtney from
Right,
Central
right,
that
right,
like
right.
that went out there to Rutgers for the visit. Yo,
Hey,
man, that
yeah.
was that man, yo.
Hey, was that the first time y'all seen snow, or was y'all tripping on the airplane? I don't remember. Something happened. What
Man,
happened?
I saw snow, coming my family from the Midwest. I got a lot of family from the Midwest. So like I used to
Mm-hmm.
always go to like St. Louis,
Mm-hmm.
Detroit, Chicago all the time, to see
Right.
my family up there. But yo, so Rutgers, like they did a big time, like they picked us up in a private jet, dog.
Uh
So
huh.
we was 17 flying private. So like a lot of people don't know that neither. So like I
Right.
kept that to myself. So
Uh huh.
so when they picked us up, like they stopped in Palm Beach and Lauderdale to pick up some other cats from like Dilla and some other from Glade Central. So they made three little stops within like the Tri-City area to pick us up.
Mm-hmm.
So we up in the air, right? So mind you, we teenagers, and they picking us up in private jets. It's like
Right.
a 13 seater.
Mm-hmm.
Like they fixing us eggs and sausages and grits on the plane, and
Yeah.
like we in there wild, like man, we big dogs up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So you got me and Courtney and Brian up there. So like Brian is the biggest clown out of everybody. For him to
Yeah.
be so huge, so he finna get on you.
Right.
So we up there. And so like we out there flying, like we out there. So like a private jet ain't that big. So
Mm-hmm.
we up there, and the wind hit the plane like shoo,
Right.
like that. Man, I think with the doing this and doing that, man, that boy Courtney was out there tripping. Oh yeah, Willie was out there too. Me, Courtney, Willie, and Brian.
I remember Courtney coming back and telling us that story,
Boy,
man.
Courtney was out there tripping, boy. Hey, but I ain't gonna lie, but any normal person would be out there tripping too.
Yeah.
And they would have spent what that plane was doing when that wind hit it.
Yeah.
Man, but Courtney was out there tripping though, man. He
So
was like, oh God, he was out there praying to God. I'm like, what you praying to God for? We up here by him, like we almost there. You about to see the upper room.
uh so any details that you could share about the trip?
Man, the details about the trip, if you can look at any movie where you got recruits coming from high school and they bring you up there and like they got everything laid out for you, like I'm talking about the fireworks, the name on the billboard, and then for us going to New Jersey was even more big time because you got New York right there. So
Right.
we land in New Jersey, and the first thing we do is go to New York. Like a lot of us from the inner city, so we ain't finna see New York for a long time, or probably ever gonna see it. So man, we
Mm-hmm.
land in a big city, man. We got us young dudes from Miami with dreads, gold teeth.
Goals.
Man, they looking at us, they looking at us like who is y'all? Like where y'all from? What y'all doing here? So like it was kind of scary at first because like we
Mm-hmm.
wasn't used to being looked at like you know, I don't want to say like scum, but they were looking at us in like disgust, like yo,
Mm-hmm.
like where y'all from? And I like like who
Right.
who is y'all? You got Brian, dreads,
Huge.
gold teeth,
Goals. Yeah.
Willie, twisties, gold teeth, Marcus, me,
Goals.
dreads, gold teeth,
Yeah.
Courtney,
Courtney
dreads,
goals.
gold teeth.
All y'all.
All of us looking like all of us looking like we ready to rob something. But we were just student athletes. That's all.
Right. Right.
But for the experience though, man, that thing was love, man. We went into the ESPN zone. If you ever been to if you never been there, um, I mean, you probably can't do it now because of COVID, but that's an
Yeah.
experience that you want to go to and just like just watch some games, man, because they got TVs
Hmm.
everywhere.
Right.
You go to the bathroom to take a leak, they got a TV right there in front of the screen. You got to go take a dump, they got TVs on the doors. Like you ain't finna miss nothing in the ESPN zone. Boy, get you some wings.
Right.
Boy, you eat something bad and you got to go run to the bathroom. Like from where you at to the bathroom, you ain't finna
Yeah.
miss nothing.
That's
Nothing.
funny, man. That's cool, man. And all
Mm-hmm.
jokes aside, I tell kids because I remember Cristobal, man. Cristobal hanging out in the field house. Man, he wanted y'all bad. I know he got you and Willie, but I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you two was the main target. I know he wanted Brian and Courtney, man, but he wanted y'all too bad, man.
Yeah, man, I think he wanted Courtney, but I think they was gonna switch him to like DDB or something like that. So Courtney wasn't with it. Like Courtney was a quarterback. Courtney been playing quarterback since bunch pod days. So
Right.
Courtney wasn't with that cornerback. So you say anything about receiver or cornerback, he wasn't trying to hear that.
Right.
I think they kind of knew that Brian was more committed to but they just brought him up there anyway, just in case that they can get him.
Yeah.
But Brian wasn't with that. Brian was like, man, I'll holler at y'all boys, man. Like I see y'all boys in the game when we play y'all up there.
Trey Moses, top of your screen. Two receivers to the bottom. One is Marcus Daniels, another Florida product out of Miami Central. Hart to throw, and that one got away from him. Tried to get it into Sean Tucker, fifth leading receiver in the Big East. Fourth on the team and with 349 all-purpose yards. And Sean Tucker never to their usual standards. Berlin started ineffective. Prudhoe's come in for Sears. He hasn't blown anybody away either. Double wide receivers both sides here for Rutgers. Third down and 9 at the 48. Miami rushes 4, drops everybody else. Hart throws underneath. He's got Daniels. Daniels running east-west instead of north-south. May have cost him a first down.
Yeah, I think he's going to be
by Alfonso Marshall.
Dave, you're exactly right. I think he's going to be short by about a half a yard. If Daniels takes that football and goes north-south, he may have enough for the first down. Good job by Hart, just dumping the football right there. Go and attack. Split the defenders. If you have two defenders coming at you, try to split the defenders, and they may shoot you towards a first down. But Daniels that time decides to go to his left and comes up short.
Radigan having a good day. His last one a 48, and one before that was a 46-yarder. Roscoe Parrish deep to receive. Gets a good snap. He's going to throw it. How about this? Got a man down there. The adjustment. Daniels is there, and it's caught. Penalty flags as well. If the penalty's against Miami, it's going to be a first down for Rutgers, and a gutsy play called by Greg Schiano and his staff.
Terrific play called by Greg Schiano, and that really looked like it was a nothing play. I didn't think that Rutgers would come up with the catch because it was well defended.
Pass interference on the defense. Penalties decline. First down.
20 yards on the pickup, and Rutgers now 4 out of 11 on fourth down conversions.
Well, great opportunity to call the play and a good adjustment to the football by Daniels. On the last play, he didn't go north and south and made a mistake, but on that play, put his body in between the ball and the defender, and the defender has to get pass interference to try to get to the football. Just a great play on the outside. Alfonso Marshall gets called for the penalty.
I see y'all was in the game when we play y'all, man.
Yeah, I remember, man, because Brian, and Toribio, he took us to the Pittsburgh game because he was getting looked at, and I guess you can go. To any game.
Pittsburgh wanted me too, man.
Yeah, Pittsburgh too. Okay, I remember they had Fitzgerald around that time.
Yep.
Yeah,
man. They had what's the dude name that played at? I think he played at Killian, man. Torian Cox. Remember Torian Cox?
Okay. I remember Blaze too from Plantation.
I'll be Blaze,
yeah.
Yeah, man. I got a hit on that boy too. Man.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, I got on the line with Thump, man, and we was talking about that Plantation game, man. Like that was that.
Man, I played with one of their running backs. Played with us, man.
Really?
Dennis Campbell, one of their running backs that they had that year, one of them 4 running backs or 3 running backs that had 1,000 yards.
Okay.
I played with him at Rutgers too.
Man, hey. And we talking about the Rutgers experience, and you chose Rutgers. Was it because of Cristobal? Was it because of the love that they showed you? What was the reason why you chose them?
I chose Rutgers because of Cristobal, one. Two, because of all the, like they sauced me up, man. They threw a lot of game at me. Like they held a lot of the stuff that they told me and my family, like they kept their word. As far as what they told me, as far as me coming to school, me getting the education and everything. But
Right.
now that I think back to like what they were saying, they never really said nothing about football. They made it clear and understood that, I mean, no matter if I play or not, they're gonna make sure that I get my degree and get an education.
Okay.
And I got that.
So what'd you study?
What I studied, what I ran into, man, employment relations and management. Like I really didn't have a goal since I was so young, and I really didn't have guidance like coming from home. As far as like on the football part, like my parents, like my mom and my daddy was always, get, get your degree, get your degree. But as far as like what I wanted to study, I didn't want to study that, and that's just the honest truth. And like for all the young kids that will watch this soon, like they have to understand that you have to go there with a plan. What do you want to study? I did not know what I want to study. I just went there to play football, and I ended up getting a degree in this field and that field. So like what I studied was employment relations and management, which is a fancy way to say human resources. Wow. And then when I talked to other guys about football and I asked them what they studied, they said the same thing. Like I really ain't studied nothing, but I ended up doing criminal justice. That's the the main thing that athletes say that they they got a degree in. So like when you coming from Miami, like your tunnel vision is football. That's it.
Right.
I never had a goal in school saying, "Oh man, I want to be a lawyer after football, or I want to be a doctor, or police, or engineer, or like whatever." Like I never had that goal going into college.
So, what advice would you give kids? Like they should have that. They should at least know what they want to do. What if they're like just similar to us? Like, because I'm first generation too. My family didn't know, dog. I just went into school. Man, I changed my major 2 times, dog. I didn't know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? So what type of advice would you give a kid if they first generation, parents don't know? They don't really know. We figure it out. I figured it out in school or tried to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? We just kind of take it as we go.
So we tried to figure it out and we kind of just landed on whatever classes that we took the most. So I already took these classes, so this the major that I'm gonna take. But if you're a high school player right now and you already got you committed already, you already know what school you're gonna go to, you talking to these coaches, make sure that you go into the school not think about football, but think about what school you want to go to. I mean, what classes that you want to take. Going there like a regular student. Going to like a regular college student, not a student athlete, but a regular student, and find out which classes you want to take. Have that in your mind already, because boy, when I say I did not have no school, no books, no pen, no nothing in my brain about when I went to college, because how we taught, how we think. Oh, Marcus, you good. Oh, EJ, you good, man. And they talking NFL talk before you even get to high school.
Right.
They think you feel like you they hope out of the hood. So they ain't think about education, man. They think about football. They think about how many yards you gonna get, how many catches you gonna, like they think about sponsors and all that stuff before you even set foot in college. So like push away all the fall, all the clutter, all of the haze and the clutter, and focus on what is it that you want to do if football don't work. Because you got to think, it's a lot of people that play football, and only 200 and something go a year. And then even if you do get drafted or you do make it to the league, you ain't no guarantees you're gonna stay that long.
Right. It's 53 on the roster, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I think 53 or 52, man. I don't even keep not nowadays. I don't even keep. I don't even keep up with it. But it's like in the 50s. and then you got the practice squad. So you got to hope somebody get hurt or you do something spectacular to make these teams just to make the cut. So
right.
So
Putting your
it's
body on the
so
line too.
right. So my advice to these youngins that like that wasn't given to us because maybe our old heads didn't know.
Right.
Is to go in there with a plan, like going there as a regular college student and think like, what are you going to do when football doesn't work? So you have to have your mind already set. Like, I want to be a chemist, or I want to be a lawyer or a politician or president.
Right.
Something.
Right.
Have a plan. Have a plan. Besides football, have a plan.
Right. And I like that word
That's
you
my
use.
advice.
That mindset, right? You got to have your mindset already so you already know what you want to do. But I want to talk about Rutgers, man, too, because I know you had some ballers at Central. I went to Central. I had some of that experience with you, but you went to Rutgers. You played with Ray Rice. And I remember y'all had a real good fullback, Leonard. Leonard was real good. Brian Leonard.
When I went to Rutgers, by us coming from Miami, like, we have the best of the best. Like, if you look at any NFL team, like, the best of the best, like, they come from Miami. But when I went to Rutgers and I realized some of the other players from these other states that could play too, I was like, boy, listen, we had a white boy on our team, Brian Leonard. Like, he was the coolest thing since sliced bread.
I remember
when I
him.
say,
yes.
So he reminded me of so he kind of reminded me of Michael Jackson, right? So like, let me tell you about that. So like, Michael Jackson off the stage, he's quiet, he's calm, he's soft spoken, like, hey, that's how Brian Leonard was. But then Michael Jackson off the ego come out. You see the fire, you see the flames when he get on stage. That's how Brian Leonard was. He's soft spoken off the field. He's cool. He's calm. But on that field, boy, he come alive.
Yeah,
he come alive, yo. And that was a good experience to be a part of that with Brian Leonard, to be a part of that with Ray Rice, to even be a part of that with some of the players that's still playing now, man. The McCourty twins, they got more. Like Devin got multiple Super Bowl championships with the Patriots, and then he got his twin brother that just went the other year, and they both got championship rings, Super Bowl rings, man. That's dope. That's dope, man. That is dope for your twin brother, like for you and your twin brother to play on the Super Bowl team and get rings, man.
Yeah.
Yo, you couldn't have that no other way, dog. You couldn't have that no other way, man. And then we had a couple more cats. Eric Foster that played for the Colts, but he ended up getting injured real bad, man. He broke his leg one game, leg went the other way.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was it for him. We had Kenny Britt playing receiver. Yeah, me and him used to keep in contact. But man, people get man, they get so busy, man. Like, I wish I could talk to all of them every day, dog. But that ain't the case. Who else? I could keep going, man. There's players in that been in since I left college that's floating under the radar, that's still playing on the team, like Clark Harris. Like, remember the tight end we had at Rutgers?
Okay, Clark Harris.
Yeah, but he went into the NFL as a tight end and a long snapper. a long snapper. Like, that's something else that I tell these other kids, man. Don't think because you a wide receiver that you're gonna make it, man. You better get your feet wet, snapping the ball or playing these special teams, because that's what gets you in the league.
Right. Because you said you play some special teams, yeah?
I play every special team.
Got you.
Every special team, man.
Got you.
I can tell you how that goes. So just imagine you play receiver, right? Let's say you star in that receiver, or like they got you on the package. So like they had me on a 3 receiver package when I first came now, and let's say let's say your role was you got to run bombs every play.
Yeah. And
then you 3 and out. So that does happen sometimes to the best of the teams. You start your offense and you 3 and out. Now you got to punt. So on punt team, I was the gunner. So let's say you playing somebody like West Virginia.
Wow.
And you got to go run down there and chase down Pac-Man Jones. So, you know, that thing, hey,
Man.
chasing him is like chasing the rabbit. So I got to go down there, chase him, and shoestring tackle him so he won't go 100 yards downfield and stop that tackle, right?
Right.
So guess what? So you go down there, so like you run your offense don't score, now you got a punt, so now you got to run down there again. So now we had a good defense too. Where you know we had Courtney Green, we had the McCourty twins, we had Ron Jarrell. Our secondary was dope, our linebackers was dope. You know, we had a good defense that year, 3 and out. So guess what? I'm on punt block now. So now I got to go punt the block. And so I go punt the block. All right, I miss. Guess what? You missed the punt block. So now you got to run all the way downfield for your return, man, for Willie.
Yeah.
To go set up the punt block for him and let him run. And then let's say Willie returned the kick. Touchdown.
Yeah.
Guess what I'm on now?
Field goal?
Team.
Oh, kickoff. Oh, wow.
So let's say, hey, and this scenario happened to me plenty of times. So now Willie returned the kick, touchdown, and now I don't get no break from receiver to punt team. Like from receiver to punt team, and from punt block team to now we on kickoff.
Yeah. And you running full speed.
And now, man, I was an L2, so I don't get the pleasure of sitting back and waiting for the play to come to you. I got to go hit the wedge. Oh my God! And the worst wedge. Like I'm finna tell you who had the best wedge that I used to be frightened to go hit them. UConn had the worst wedge ever.
Yeah.
They had them boys was like bisons. Like them boys was like 3 elephants and bisons. And the way that our scheme was, I had to go bust through the wedge. So imagine, man, I'm only 210. You know, I'm 6'2", 210, and
we could hold hands back then. We used to hold hands.
Man, listen, them boys weren't trying to hold hands because it slowed the momentum of them running. They hit me.
Oh, we used to build a little wall, and then you know what I'm saying, so let y'all
used to have
through.
Before. Used to have a 4. Nah,
UConn, that was me in the back. Yeah, I would be the up back. Yeah,
UConn had 3, and them boys
okay.
Them boys had 3, and them boys were solid.
Yeah.
I did not want to go hit them boys. I used to dread, but I used to go do it, though. You know, I go down them, and I run full speed, and I had to split them. So, I had to split the wedge so the return, man, could bounce it outside. So, listen, man, that was like suicide, dog.
It was, dude. I'm telling you, dude.
Suicide.
Dude, I used to put so many people on their back because y'all running full speed, and I'm bigger, so I get my momentum going. I used to feel people's legs going up in the air, bam. It was easy because go ahead.
Man, listen, that was not it. Man, that was easy for y'all, because y'all like the plotman, y'all like the cleanup crew.
Yeah.
Like anybody in the way, just So one year, man, I got injured real bad, and guess who I got injured on? We played South Florida, and guess who was back there on their wedge?
Who? Courtney?
Sabbath Joseph.
Oh, yeah, because he came after us. He played after us.
He came after us. Man, I went down there, and I hit that boy, man. I knocked him down. Listen, I put that boy out, man. I think we both was hurt that play.
Yeah.
And I hit him so bad to where this the first time I seen this. My shoulder pad had a huge dent about that big in it.
Wow.
A huge dent, and I hit him so hard to my collarbone, it shifted and it bruised my sternum. So you know this connected and it's connected to your sternum. So when I hit him here, this shifted and it shifted the bones in here. So it still hurts to this day.
Wow. So you can't lift weights or anything like that?
No, I can lift, but if I sit like this for too long in the bed and then I have to roll over and move, like it hurt. All my injuries hurt, man. The surgery that I had. Yeah. So all the surgeries that I had in college, they still hurt till today.
Wow. Well, trust me, I understand. Anybody that played the game, that played as long as we played, even in college, you still put your body on the line, dog. You play a lot of games. You're on the field, dude. You put your body on the line, you're gonna feel it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna feel it. That's one thing
And
people. Go ahead.
I used to put my body on the line all the time because especially at Rutgers, Coach Shiano, he had this thing called 111 basically. So 111 is basically you do your part, you do your job. If you do your job, if everybody do their job, then the play's supposed to work. Like this is supposed to happen.
Right.
And if your job was to go, and if your job was to go throw yourself into that wedge, that's your job. So that was my job. So like I was a team player, man. I never been selfish. Even that Central when we used to blow people out, 55 to nothing, 65 to nothing. I always played my part. I never tried to, overextend myself because I was always a team player. So now that I know more about football, when I was in college, I kind of should have been selfish a little bit because now that I know now, because I wasn't really thinking about yards, touchdowns. I just wanted to win. So like whatever I had to do to help my team win, that's what kind of player I was. But when I got to college, I wanted to be more selfish, and I wasn't getting that selfish role that I wanted to have at that time.
So you say you wanted to be more selfish. So can you explain? Did you want the ball more? Did you want a bigger role? Like what was it?
So coming from being a star in Miami, you want so now you in a big league. Like it ain't the big leagues yet, but now you in the big league. So now you got thousands of fans. Now you more hungry now. You more hungry. You want the ball in your hand. Not necessarily you want to shine. It's like so now I'm at this next level, and the next level after that is what? The NFL.
Yeah, the NFL. Yep.
So I want to get to the NFL now. So I want the ball in my hands. So like I want to show what I can do. I want to show that I can compete with the best of them. And I felt like I wasn't given that chance all the time because of, like whatever. Maybe it was me because I can't really tell you exactly what was going on because my head was a clip because I wasn't focused like how like how other players was. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, like a lot of the players, I was naturally gifted with the ability to play football, but I didn't put in the work. So if you a player out there and you naturally fast and you naturally could catch the ball, naturally is not finna get you there. Naturally is not finna get you to the NFL. Being like just being athletic is not finna get you to the NFL. It's the people that put in the work, that put in the time, that put in the work, that put in the grind. Like those the people that made it to the NFL from my team. Is the ones that put in that extra work. So now that, man, I sit back and I watch them, like you feel some type of way, like, man, I played with these cats. Or you see somebody that you bombed in college and took them deep for 70 yards for a touchdown. Them boys stars in the NFL right now. They're making big bread in the NFL. They're getting all the endorsements, but I sit back and I think and I say, what extra work did I put in to get with them boys? Like, even though I scored on them boys, I caught plays on them boys, but what extra work did I do? What extra work did I put in to put myself in that same picture with them? And when I think back, I didn't put in the work because I naturally had it already. So I figure I supposed to go anyway because I got it.
Right.
But that wasn't the case.
Okay.
Life taught me a lesson. Life taught me a big lesson, a huge lesson that I had to eat that and put what I learned from college to not make it to the NFL. So I put that with the jobs that I work now. So I outwork everybody at the jobs that I work.
Got you. All right. So anything like any experience that you want to talk about at Rutgers? I know you just talk about UCF with Sabbath. Any like favorite game or any favorite experience in on the field, off the field with your coaches or teammates?
Yeah, hold on. Hey, India, bring my white book back for me, please. Yeah, my experience, like my favorite. I mean, I got a couple favorite games, even games that I didn't even score a touchdown on. Like they still my favorite game because I got to be me. So my problem in college was I didn't understand how to play the game, basically, and not the game of football, because I understood the X's and O's, like, you know, 'cause like I was a genius at the X's and O's. So like when I say I didn't understand the game of football, it was playing the game, like playing. So at Rutgers, you know, like Rutgers was the first game, you know, the first team to play college football, Rutgers and Princeton. You know, like they were the first two teams to play. All right, to ever do college football, all right to ever do college football. Right?
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Princeton and Rutgers. So Coach Shiano was big on class. We had to be classy, right? And how we played at Central, but we was a buck wild.
That's it.
We was wild. We didn't care about you, your mama, your coaches, your team,
Nothing.
your colors,
Nothing.
your like we didn't care about none of that. So when, you know, man, my daddy used to always tell me, son, you got to learn how to play them people game, and I didn't understand that. So I didn't understand that until 10 years later, what he was talking about. Because I was so, see, like our parents, they tell us a lot of things, but they don't teach us how. They'll say, hey, go do this. Hey, son, go catch the ball. Hey, go run this route. But they never showed us how to catch that ball, or how to run that route, or how to put your foot in the ground and pivot out of that step to run a good route so that cornerback could be off balance, or how to play the game.
Right.
So when he used to say, so when I say play the game, is learn how to turn Miami off, turn Marcus off, and play Rutgers game. So us people in Miami, like we have a natural edge, like a swag that, man, I don't care about you because it's me against you. I don't care who it is, the coaches, the team, it's me against you all the time. So I didn't know how to play that game like that.
Wow. Gotcha.
And like if I would have known how to play that game, I would have kept my mouth closed a lot. Like I would have just shut up and let the coach talk when he was saying something. Like I wouldn't been that rebel on the team. Because like if I see something wrong, I'm going to address it.
Got you.
And you know, I saw a lot of wrong things, and like I might have not said nothing all the time, but I showed you what I was thinking. I act on what I was thinking, and I should have just stayed quiet, and man, I should have just gone through the flames and the fire and just played the game. So now that I'm playing the game, I'm playing the game in the corporate world. You know, man, I still get out of line. So, you know, sometimes, you know, I mean, because you just can't let people just run over you.
Right.
But I still play the game.
Got you. So basically, it's just learning. I take it as this from my perspective is learning your environment and learning how to move in your environment.
Learning how to move, so like basically it's kind of, you have to train yourself how to still. People dying every day. So you ain't glad that I got out the hood, that I seen the world, that I learned something early that y'all just not trying to figure out.
Right.
That I got a college degree. Right. That you're like, come on, man. Like, and you disappointed in me. I'm disappointed in you because when I came back home, you still right here.
Right. And they put everything on your shoulders, but what about them? What about their life? You know what I'm saying? They waiting on you, but you got to live your life. You know what I'm saying?
And like, that's another way we were talking about learning the game. Like I learned the game with that because I could have snapped and went off, but I was just like, you know, like he ignorant because he haven't been nowhere. See, man, I was taught something early by going to college, by talk, like, you know, like some of my best friends was like Asian, Middle Eastern, like
really.
Man, listen, like once I dropped that Miami cage down and started opening up to people, man, I started having fun in college because I wasn't getting the playing time, I wasn't getting the ball in my hand the way that I wanted to. So I was miserable in college because I wasn't the star, like you know what I'm saying? Man, I wasn't the star. So like once I dropped that guard down and like stopped being that Miami person and kind of like stepping out the box, man, I've had a blast in college, man.
That's what's up, man.
I had so much fun in college, man, and because even though I ain't go to the NFL, I wasn't the star. Like the friends that I made in college, man, like that's a bond that I ain't gonna never that's a bridge that I would not burn ever, man. Because I can leave here today, leave Georgia today, and call my friends in New Jersey and be like, "Hey, man, I'm on my way." Man, they'll stop what they doing and be like, "Oh, come on, let's slide."
That's it.
Let's slide, fool.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up,
And
man.
it's not even the friends in college. Like it's like so. Like one of my teammates, Carl Howard, right? His name Carl Howard. Like we was like he took me and my other teammate in, man. The guy I told you about, the linebacker from Gables. He took us in. So a lot of people then, like a lot of people didn't want to bring us to their house during the holidays. So during the holidays, we really couldn't leave, and like we really couldn't leave and come back home.
Right.
Because because like we still in season, so we really couldn't go back home and like get into trouble and stuff. So Carl Howard, he used to always bring us to his mama house and his daddy house, and we'd eat like big dinners and stuff, right? So one day we was like we was on our way back to the dorm, to the campus, and like we was in a bad car accident, head-on collision, boom. Like a lot of people don't know about that too. So this is a story that I'm gonna tell you that people don't know. We was in a car accident, and I ended up getting injured real bad, man. I blacked out. So so like they took me to the hospital. So like they took us to the hospital, to check us out. I had to do a CAT scan, and when I woke up from the CAT scan, guess who was standing on the side of me, dog, man? Queen Latifah. Boy, I thought I was dead. I thought I was in heaven. I said, but this can't be real.
You serious, man?
I'm dead serious, man. So, Carl, how Queen Latifah was like his auntie or something. I ain't know that. So, cause like stars to us in Miami ain't nothing, cause we see stars all the time.
Right.
Like they ride around their Lamborghinis and their Bentleys and stuff like that. So when I saw that, I just knew I was dead. You wake up and man, you got the biggest star in the world on the side of your room, on the side of your bed, checking up on you, like rubbing your head and stuff. Like, and then after that, like we used to she used to have little stuff at our house, so we'll go to her house from time to time. She used to call us her Miami boys.
Okay.
So we'll go to her house like probably like once a year. This was like, cause I think I had 2 more years up there. So like once I left up there, like I wasn't up, I ain't keeping contact with her like that. But that was a good experience though. So she was to make sure that we eat. Like she made sure that we was good, and somebody else that he knew that we used to go to their house. What's the girl name? God, what's her name? Man, my mind going blank. Man, the girl from the Cosby, Rudy. So we used to go to her house.
Okay.
So the people that we was like connected with in college, like it was bigger than football. Man, it was like the bonds and the relationships that I built with my teammates and their families, and like just getting out into the community, man. Because if you from Miami or like if you from any inner city, like across America, and y'all you think you gotta live by a code, man. Once you get to college, man, leave that junk at home, dog. Because it's gonna have you stuck. It's gonna have you stuck, man.
Yep. And that's big, man. And I realized that too, because I realized talking to everybody that we all had a certain attitude leaving home, and it was all about who adjusted the fastest. Because you don't realize, because that's where you're from, that's your little box. You know what I'm saying? Until you leave
because you think
box.
it's normal. Because you think it's normal, like yo, man, people was afraid of us in college.
Yeah.
They was afraid to come say hi, or just because of not because of who we was, but just how like we carried ourselves. Like that's normal to us. So So yo, hey, for me to step out that box, I had to like really step out of the box and be like, hey, like hey, like you know what I'm saying? I had to step out of that box and be like it felt weird, like it felt tingly and like it felt like like at first, but once you realize this how the rest of America is, like we
Right.
just like like all right, we in the hood, and the hood is just that big, like we
Yeah.
is that big compared to the rest of the world.
Right.
So it was like, man, so like when I came home for good, like when I came home from good out of college, when I was done with football, done with trying to play arena and all that stuff, when I came home, man, I didn't feel the same no more because I was different.
Gotcha.
Me and my old friends couldn't have the same conversation. So for me to come back home and fit in again, I have to step out of another box again and to fit in another box, like to fit in an old box.
Gotcha.
So it's like it's like you jumping from box to box.
Got you.
I don't know that makes sense, right?
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean, because it's just like when you go home, you have a different mindset compared to what your mindset is when you're everywhere else, because at home people think differently. When you around your friends, your family, people think different compared to the people out in the real world and everywhere else compared to people in Miami.
Yeah, man. But you know what, man? You asked a question earlier,
What's that?
man, about my favorite games, man. Like mostly all the games that I played, man, I tried to have fun, even if they wasn't throwing me the ball. I was looking for somebody to crack back.
Yeah.
You know, like looking for, like just looking for something to do. But man, my favorite game was West Virginia. I think it was my junior year or my sophomore year, and Illinois game my junior year. That's when cause I think Champ Bailey he had a cousin that played for. I think he had a cousin that played for Illinois, played cornerback. Something. His last name was Bailey too. And like they was talking about how good he was. Like he was good though. But me being from Miami, dog eat dog world is me against you. Line it up.
That's it.
I had to take that boy up top for 70 for the touchdown.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay.
And then and then at the time, Pat-Man was the man. Like he was all over the news. Pat-Man Jones, return for the touchdown. Pick six here, pick six there. So I had it lined up in front of him. So I can honestly say that Pat-Man Jones and D'Angelo Hall was my two hardest games that I had to play, far as like me having to really show what I can do with the best of the best.
Right.
And I ain't get, like I didn't get the score on D'Angelo Hall. Like that's when he played for Virginia Tech. Like they didn't throw me that many passes.
Yeah.
But I gave it to Pat-Man too.
Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up.
I think I caught a post on him for like 60 or 70 yards on him too, and
Gone.
It was like Pat-Man Jones. I mean, he was fast, but when you competing and you trying to get to that end zone fast, what? Show me. Show me.
You said that was your junior year, West Virginia?
When I scored on Pat-Man that year, like that game was my sophomore year, I think.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah,
Okay.
But Pat-Man Jones was that man though. Like
he was the man.
Like I used to enjoy watching him. Like when we watch film, like you cut up all the little films and you watch these players. Watch certain plays, and on third down they do this, and first, like all right, 1st and 10 they run these plays, and
right,
so on and so on. Like I used to enjoy like I used to like to watch Pat-Man and this other guy from South Florida. His last name was Jenkins. I think his name was Mike Jenkins. That was like he has to be like the fastest dude I ever saw on the football field.
Got you. That's what's up,
man. And then like he ended up playing for Dallas, I think, Michael Jenkins.
Okay.
When I say you watch him on film, you watch him on film, if it's a play that's breaking and like about to score, Mike Jenkins finna come from the other side of the field, from the back, and he finna catch him.
Man, that's some
Like,
Deion Sanders type stuff, buddy.
This dude, like, we used to watch him. Like, we used to spend time like going to our facility just to watch Mike Jenkins, like just to watch him running people down, man.
Wow.
That jump was amazing to watch, dog.
Where was he from? You know?
He was from somewhere in Florida, like I'm not sure, but
yeah,
that boy has some wheels, bro.
Yeah. Hey, Pac-Man was from Florida too. He from the Belgrade area. Where was he from? I'm not sure.
Nah. Pac-Man from Atlanta, man.
Oh, Atlanta. Oh, okay. I thought he was from Florida. Okay, that's what's up.
Pac-Man from Atlanta, man.
So, all right. So, tell me what your transition was like after college, because you mentioned something about arena. What was your process after college?
Well, I was like I had an agent. I did a couple workouts for a team, for the Vikings, for San Francisco, the Giants, but they never gave me a call back. So I tried to go to the CFL. So like I thought I was gonna, like, I spoke with my agent. He was like, he working on something with Winnipeg. That didn't work because I guess they got like some type of ratio that they only could have a certain amount of American players on their team or something like that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So that's how dumb I was to
the Canadian residence thing. They got to have like a certain amount of Canadian players on their squad.
Right. So I thought I was there. So then I started playing arena, and at that time the A1 the bigger arena team, they canceled it for that year, and then I ended up playing for the other arena team.
Two.
Yeah. So like they had a team in South Carolina called the Greenville Force. So like I played with them, but that ain't it. To be honest with you, man, it was a joke, man. They have some people that do go to the NFL from that A2 team. That's if your agent really on top of you. But man, it was a joke, man. Like it like that. So that was my final straw with football. That was my last straw. That's when I was just like, man, whatever. So then I had to go back to the real world. So like I moved back home to Miami, and no. Before I moved to Greenville, I mean, I was still at Rutgers for a whole year because I was working before I got the call. Like I was still trying out for teams, still still trying to get somewhere. And there's one thing that I did say to you before is that they did not help me as far as when it came down to after football.
The school Rutgers, right?
Right. So I don't know if it was me or did they help people, but I know they didn't help me. And it's not to talk bad on the school because I like the school. That that's my school, that's my alma mater, and I'm always rep that block R. but like far as because I really didn't want to come home because I was ashamed because I didn't make it to the NFL. That's the ultimate goal, the NFL. Wow. So I didn't want to come home. So so when all things fell, I had to come home. And when I came home, and I was just like, I felt lost. I felt like a bum. I felt like a loser.
Wow.
So like I told you the story like about the security guard job that I had, just to get a job, just to have some money in my pocket. And so I got with this company, and they worked like all the big events, like they worked the football games, and it's at FIU. And at the time, Cristobal was at FIU too, coaching.
Yeah.
And so I spoke to my daddy. He was like, man, you got to do something. You got to get a job. You got to do something. You just can't be sitting around here moping. All right. So like I got a job working, doing working events. And then the first event that I was gonna work was an FIU football game. And guess who they played that game?
Rutgers. Wow.
I said, man, you got me, yo. I said, dog. I said, I did not know because I was just working because I ain't care. I just wanted the money. I quit that day.
Wow.
I quit that day. Because I couldn't do it because they were playing Rutgers. And man, like I was just playing on this big field with them. last year, and now I'm over here working security. Like, so that was an ego thing, pride thing. So like, I quit that day. I ain't even make it inside the gate to even sign in.
Got you, man. That's tough though, man. So like, my thing is, this is another reason why I'm doing this, because first off, I don't feel like none of us are losers. Anybody who put themselves in a position to earn a scholarship, to even earn a scholarship at a D1 level, you're an exceptional person, you're an exceptional athlete. So how can we create a community where people are not ashamed of their accomplishments? Because everything that you did.
Not that no more.
Right.
See, all the football players, the athletes, the me, the sevens, the courting, and man, I'm just speaking of, for people from our team and
Right.
and all across the country that play ball.
Right.
Is man, we a tough breed of people to like go through what we've been through, and to have the name and to go to places that we've been to, and to come home and to get looked at like that, and to fight through that junk, dog. Because a lot of people that haven't been through what we've been through, like they had that mental toughness, they would have been broke.
Right.
Like all right, they would have been cracked. Man, they couldn't go through, man, they couldn't weather the storm that we been through. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's hard, dog.
Yeah.
It's like I mean, it's hard. And man, I mean, it's not just for football players, for basketball, for track, like, like whatever sport you play. If you was that guy and you went to college and you came home and people not welcoming you in and trying to help you, they couldn't do what you did and come back home. Like, fool, it take a lot for us to come back home just to get stones thrown at us.
Right.
You come back home and you don't go to the NFL, they be like, stone him. Hey, man, that junk be crazy, man. Like, because they don't embrace you, like they don't like bring you in with open arms. They don't be like, man, it's all right, man. All right, man. You ain't make it to the NFL, but it's all right. Hey, so they don't be like, oh well, like I know this company over here that's hiring, man. I know this job over here that's hiring. They be like, damn. Before they be like, damn, dog, you ain't go to the NFL. And they be like, they be sighing, they be shaking their head like, man, they be like, man, forget y'all niggas, man.
Which is true, man. Which is true, man. It's so true.
And then the worst part is that the people that quietly envy you and be excited that you didn't make it to the NFL, and they at a position where they can put you on to a job and they won't do it. Because while we was out there trying to chase our dreams, they didn't have a dream to chase. So they just went out and got a job, and they slowly climbed and built at that job. So now they at a position where they can bring you on and help you, but they not going to do it because they the man now and you under them. Because they the man now. You not the man no more.
Right.
That's crazy, dog.
It is. It is crazy, man. But I believe, like I said, I'm gonna keep reaching out to guys, man. I believe we can get together. We can put our heads together and do something, man. Because everybody have a story to tell, man. And we have kids behind us trying to do the same thing that we did, and they don't know what's coming. You know what I'm saying? All those kids that's on those D1 schools, all those kids that just played in the national championship, everybody not going to the league, boss.
Everybody ain't going, man. No matter how good you thought you was, no matter what you thought your name was, it's possible.
Very possible.
Like don't because I don't want to stump no dreams down because I didn't make it. It's possible, but it's a thin line. There's a thin door that's hard to open when it's time to get into the NFL. If you're not the number one player in the world, if you're not being watched, it's going to be difficult to get across that door, man. The door was right there. I was at the door, man. I just couldn't get the door open.
Right.
Man, I knocked, I screamed. I tried to break the door down, but I could not get in. I tried to find every way to get in. I could not get in that door, man. And even when you get in the door, you got to stay in the door. Like, you got to stay in the house.
Right. Because there's a lot of people who do make it, and then they play a few years, or even the guys that play plus years. What's next? Because the whole thing is like almost like you could say identity crisis because you've been a football player your whole life. Now
That's exactly what it is for you. Hey, man, listen, you hit the nail on the head, dog. It's the identity. So my part about I'm just not getting over not making it to the NFL like maybe like a few years ago.
Right.
So my thing about not making it to the NFL is it's not really the fame and the money, it's the connections. Because look at the people that do make it to the NFL and that don't stay that long. Look how they are connected. So when they get done playing, even if they don't get the pension, like even if they don't get their 3 or 5 years in the NFL and they get their pension or like whatever it is, they are connected.
Right.
So if they need a job or like they need to do something or go somewhere, they can just pick up the phone and call. Hey, such and such, man, I need a favor, man. I need a B and C. They connected.
Right.
When you don't make it in there, because to be honest with you, all my teammates that's in the NFL, I don't talk to none of them. All my old teammates, I don't talk to none of them. From high school to college to Little League. And that's something that we need to do. Like we need to stay like in contact. So that's why when you told me about what you're doing, I said, dog, this shit is genius. You got something big going on. You know why? Because I would love to talk to my old teammates. I would love to talk to Ray Rice or McCourty twins or talk to Ali on a daily basis. Even though I got these cats' number, but I just don't talk to them.
Right.
You know, like it ain't no beef or nothing, but we be so caught up in life to where we don't have the time to to pick up the phone and to check up on our brothers. Because believe it or not, we brothers.
Yeah, we are, man. We are.
You know what I'm saying, man? We been through something in life together that people can't say that they've been through. And so I used to I used to try to reach out to like a lot of cats, man, but as time go by and so I know let's say the McCourty twins, them boys is up there.
Yeah.
Like they top notch. Like they are the face of like the NFL. Like what I'm saying, as far as like the teams, like the team, the Super Bowl, getting rings, all right, the class, like just the overall. So they are hard to reach. But I would like for them to get on here with you and have the same talk. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because like same way you said, these kids need to hear this stuff.
Right.
They need to hear it from my point of view and from their point of view.
Right. Get all perspectives so they know what they're getting into. They know what they're getting into. Because a lot of people don't know, the families don't know, unless you had a parent that played in the league, which we see happening a lot. They know the ropes, you know what I'm saying? So just say we can use somebody like as a Steph Curry, his dad, Dale Curry, knowing what to do, you know what I'm saying? Having that transition, that's different. But it's a lot of kids coming from, just like you said, the hood, Miami, inner city, who get into these positions and they don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, man. So it's so many ways that it's so many ways and avenues and things to teach these kids and to teach ourselves, man.
Right.
Because you still got people that's still trying to figure it out after 10, 15, 5 years later after playing football. People are still trying to figure this shit out, dog.
Right. It's people
and that's crazy, dog.
It's people just trying to figure out life.
And it should not be like that, man. When we go to these schools and we bring in so much money to them, like at least they can do is like help us find our way. Like just don't chew us up and spit us out like once we done because you got another fleet of athletes, just like that's what I don't like. And I'm not saying every school do that, because some schools probably do help their players get to places or help them out, but it's like I felt like I got chewed and spit out.
Right.
Like I'm done with you. That's how I felt, and that's why I kind of don't talk about football. And like I told you, dog, this is the first time that I actually sat down and had this talk. Like maybe me and Ali probably had this talk a couple times, or like me and Courtney probably had this talk a couple times. But as far as outside of them, I never had this talk with nobody. You know, because I'm so closed off when it comes down to talking about sports and football. Listen, man. I can't even tell you who a star player is right now. I mean, the football. You know, besides besides some of the people from the crib.
Right. Got you. Man,
Besides
so
besides like somebody like Antonio Brown. Besides that, man, I mean, I can't even tell you because I've been so shut off because I'm still trying to figure this out.
Yeah, man, it's been part of our identity our whole lives, man. So I feel you too, man. So what I did, man, because what my path, I was like, man, I still like the game. Let me coach, let me train. And that's still like kind of my way of kind of being around it, helping the kids, you know, maximize their talent, you know, because I still love the game, dog. And I really don't care for working for anybody, you know what I'm saying? So that's my way, you know, of still kind of being part of it, because it's like it never really leave you, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really hard, you know what I'm saying? But I had another question for you a few questions before we could go ahead and wrap it up. And you mentioned before we got on the chat and we spoke last week about you and Ant and what you guys did, what you was working at a school and what you did with the kids and how that changed your mindset before you ended up leaving to go to Atlanta.
Oh yeah, so in the midst of me trying to find find a job, find some good employment, and I was looking and at the time, like man, me and my lady was like we was like applying online, because I was working at a group home at the time. And then Ant from out the blue, Ant-Man just gave me a call. He was like, "Hey man, what you doing?" I'm like, "Man, I'm working, man. What you want, dog?" Like that's how like we on we always on the phone clowning. And so he was like, "Man, I work at this school and we got a position open there." And he was like, "Man, dog, this position that's open, man." He said, "Man, I think this fits you perfectly."
Yeah.
So like I went online, I applied for the job, came in for the interview, and I got it.
Right.
So kind of find out, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. All I knew was that the job paid more than what I paid, way more than what I was doing, and that's that.
Yeah.
Like it paid more, boy. Once I got into the job, so the school called AMI Kids, and it's called AMI Kids, and they have these schools all across the country. So so basically, them kids you see on First 48 that's doing the killing and getting killed, those are the kids that we work with.
Wow.
And my role was called a community safety specialist. So basically, I work up under Ant-Man, and he was the DO at the time, and we worked together. So when he not there, basically I'm the DO. I'm the director of operations. So we kind of ran the school together. And we both worked right up under the ED, the executive director. So basically, you get all these kids that's in jail, and for whatever charges that they have, they get a second chance, and the judge is send them to us. So what we do is basically we kind of like run them through different programs. We got the caseworkers at the school, we got the teachers, and we got different programs. Like we have we had a construction teacher that's at the school, and for the kids that passes they drug testing, because you got a lot of these kids on drugs and they just don't care about life at all.
Wow.
So you got a lot of these kids on drugs. So we motivate them to pass their drug test, to do their curfew calls, to get good grades, basically to do everything that they court order sanctions tell them to do.
Yeah.
So when they do good, we got a scuba teacher, like we call him Scuba John, and we'll get them scuba certified. So the ones that meet all their requirements, we'll take them to the Keys for about two weeks. Because the school, we had a boat. we'll take them out there and we'll go scuba diving, man. You're talking about you seeing dolphins, you seeing sharks, like we all in the middle of the ocean, like scuba
That's
diving.
cool.
Man, and man, listen, that's cool. It's cool for me too, cause listen, man. Hey, that school was so fire, dog. But the sad part about it is that we can't, like, we tried to save them all, but we can't save them, man. Like, we get so many deaths in the school, like, you know, like wake up in the morning, oh, such and such got killed today, such and such went back to jail. Like it's time after time after time. We kept hearing these kids that you get so attached to,
right,
that you want to see do good, and some of them do start doing good, but when you've done so much wrong, your wrong follows you no matter how much you try to change. And the second that you start to see the light, like you start to see the light at the end of that tunnel, the people that you beefing with, you know, you know, the people that you beefing with, like your ops, they ain't trying to hear all that, man. They catch you slipping.
That's
I
it.
mean, like they gonna off you, and that what was going on, and in the world that we living in today, where everything gets recorded on camera, before the news see it, before the news see it, we see it on Facebook. One of our kids laying on the sidewalk dead, blood all on the street. Like, that's the type of environment. So, like, even though that we used to that anyway, but it's different when you working closely with these 14, 15, 16-year-olds, and then you see them dead on Facebook. So, like, my job, like I said, was the community safety specialist. So like, I was the one that had to go to their house. So, and you know, it's hard to, like, you know, like when you come back home, like I told you before, that I had to jump out of this box to jump into this box. So when I started this job, man, I mean, I couldn't jump into this box no more, because I'm working with these kids. So these kids, so like, I can't preach A, B, and C to these kids, and I'm out here doing Z, D, and F.
Yeah.
And they see me out here doing wrong, because I'm in the middle of the project. You know, I'm in the back blues, I'm in the poking beans, I'm in the subs, I'm in Overtown.
Yeah.
You know, like, these kids, they see me, and they cousins and they uncles know me.
Right.
So I mean, I could just go to their hood and go to their door, knock on the door. Like, we had teachers, so like at a certain time of the year where school is out, like, we have to pick up the kids and bring them to school and drop them off home, because school is out and the bus is not running. So we have to pick these kids up. And then a lot of these teachers, they, you know, like, they not built for that. They not built to go to, you know, like, they not built to go to Overtown.
Right.
They ain't built to go in the Beans or go to Lodgemont or go to Miami Gardens over there and pick these kids up and go to their door. See, me and Aunt, and then there's other cat named Carter, and, like, you know, like, these other, you know, teachers that's from Miami, like, we can go there because we from Miami, like, we from the hood.
Right.
So it was easy to us, but other teachers that's not from here, that's not built, like, that's not about that life, man. It was kind of hard for them, but man, we tried to change their lives, man. We tried to show them something different than what they see. So besides the scuba trip, we had another trip that we used to have them come to, for the, for the same ones that met all the requirements, that did the curfew call, passed their drug test, good grades, you know, not giving us behavior issues in school, not getting arrested, not going to jail, no interactions with the police. We take them to North Carolina and take them to the Smoky Mountains and take them camping. White water rafting, rock propelling, and like I said, I used to have fun doing that too. Like, if anybody know me, man, I'm a big kid, dog.
Right.
I'm a big kid, so stuff like that, it excites me. So I'm pleased to say that we did change a lot of lives, but when you competitive the way that we are, we want to change all the lives. So, like, if I felt like I didn't change all their lives, I felt like I failed. But the reality of it is that you're not finna change all them kids' lives. And you know, man, I still keep in contact with some of the teachers down there at the school, and they still losing lives down there, man. They dropping like flies down there, EJ. They dropping like flies, and they only 13, 14, 15. They ain't even making it to see 18 now these days. So for us, when we was growing up, we got to make it to see 21. They ain't even making it, making it to see 18.
Oh man. And like just like I mean off of football, just like being from Miami, and I always just wanted, you know, leaving and going somewhere else and watching these kids around here and other people in other places, like why was the mindset like that around the hood? Why is the mindset like that around where we from, where our people are killing each other? Like what's up with that, dog?
I mean, that's a learned behavior. Yeah, that's a learned behavior. So let's say this is something I learned at college. So like let me so like they got a theory that I learned at college, and I always give this theory that I learned in college because this one thing. So like I didn't learn much in school, like far as like book wise, but this one thing stuck with me for a long time, and it's called the broken window theory.
Okay.
Right. So the broken window theory is if you go to a neighborhood, right, and so let's say you go in a neighborhood, right? So like I'm pretty sure you grew up in a neighborhood where you had abandoned houses and it had trash everywhere, it had broken windows and rocks and broke down cars. So when you walk in that neighborhood when you was young, you saw that abandoned house that had broken windows. What you gonna do? You gonna pick up a rock and throw some more rocks at that window because it's already broken. You know, like when you walk past that neighborhood, you eating your candy and then like you eating your snacks. You're gonna throw your paper on the ground because you see that it's trash on the ground already. And you see, you know, like so it's ran down. So what it was so like what you see is what you gonna do. So it's normal. So if you go to like another neighborhood on the other side of town and it's no broken windows, it's no abandoned houses, you're not finna throw no rock into no house that's clean and that's nice, and you're not finna throw your so like you walk down that street and you eating your snacks and you eating your candy, you're not gonna throw that trash on the ground because it's no trash on the ground. So when I say it's a learned behavior, the broken window theory is what you see is what you do. So like what you see is who you are. So like we had a lot of like abandoned houses. And man, we had a bunch of them, like what they call bandos now, right? You know, like we had a lot of bandos and we used to throw rocks into them windows all the time. We used to throw rocks into them windows all the time. So if you was in another neighborhood and you saw an abandoned house, but it wasn't raggedy and the windows was nice and the house was painted, but it just abandoned because they're about to sell it, you're not finna throw a rock in that window. You're not finna paint or spray paint on that house. You're not finna throw no trash on the ground because when you walk into that neighborhood, it's clean. It's already God, what's the word I'm trying to say? It's presentable.
Got you.
It's presentable. But when you go to the other side, right in the hood, so like it's just like if you know our area, right, where Central at, on 95th Street. So like this is a perfect example. Watch this, right?
I think it was a couple of abandoned houses over there.
But let's look at Central, right? On 95th Street. So like you got the sub shop, you got the other store that's down the street over there by 19 Ave, right? You're gonna get your candy, you're gonna get your, your snacks and all that, and you're just gonna throw stuff on the ground. You just gonna throw stuff on the ground. But if you take 95th Street and drive it going east and you drive it into Miami Shores over there, you ain't finna do that because Miami Shores is clean. They ain't got no trash over there. They ain't even got grass. I mean, they ain't even got dirt over there because they grass is so green over there. You're not finna do that. So go back to these kids. So to go back to these kids, they do that because it's a learned behavior, because that's something that, so since we like we the old heads now, so they see us doing that, they gonna do it, and they gonna do it, and and then their kids gonna do it, and their kids gonna do it, so, like until somebody break that cycle, until somebody move their kids. So that's why people move their kids from out of a lot of people that I talk to, they moving their kids from out of Miami, because of that same thing. And we working hard and we buying these nice houses up here, these suburb houses, and it ain't no abandoned houses. There ain't no trash around here. From the way that I grew up now, man, like if I walk you outside to show you how I live right now, I couldn't even dream to live like this, dog.
Right.
And that's G shit.
Yeah.
Like the way that I live now, from how I grew up, man, like our kids, they have to see better than what we have. So that's how you break that cycle. So the reason why these kids doing that is because they still stuck behind these invisible bars. They still locked up behind these invisible bars. Because that's all they see. That's all they see. That's what it is. So that's normal to them. It's life to them.
Man.
So if they ever get a chance to get to like break free out of them bars, like how me and you did, we got out of Miami, and you stayed in all right, you stayed in Carolina, and I lived in New Jersey, and I moved to Georgia. You see the difference.
Big difference.
It's a big difference.
Big difference.
Because even though Carolina got their hoods, like
right.
Because like I'm not gonna move from one hood to move to another hood. I don't understand why people do shit like that.
No, that don't make no sense.
That
don't make no sense to me, though. Some people, I guess, that's like the identity crisis thing again. They go from one place and they gonna go to another place, and I don't get it either. But that's really good what you just said, man. That's just basically telling us that we are a product of our environment, and what you see is what you get.
We are a product of our environment. It is the broken window theory, and what we see is what we do, and what we don't see is what we don't do.
That's big.
What I'm saying?
That's big.
And then I'm saying that because I've been on all levels. See, like I'm not going to explain to the world like what I was doing, because like you're trying to reach out to the kids, but I was out there. I was doing a lot of wrong, so that's how I can sit here and understand and explain it. And some of the other cats could probably like explain it to you too the same way, because I done ran across some of our teammates in the streets, and we was out there doing our thing, but we always had the knowledge to understand like how to get out of that life, but it just took time for us to figure it out.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Hey, man, I love everything that you said today, man. This is another good one, man. And just because of you said it, I'm going to try to see if I could get everybody on the line one day, man, and we can just wrap it out, man, and try to stay connected, man. But
yeah, man, because like, man, we've been on here for a while, man. I know you got stuff, cause I know you got stuff to do, but for all us rock boys, man, the original rock boys, like me, you, Courtney, Thumb, Ali, Bird, man, we gotta still. I hate the fact that all the other schools still tight except for Central.
Right.
We gotta find a way for us to like keep this thing locked in, man, and keep it tight, because if you look at Carol City, all right, them boys still tight. You look at Jackson, them boys still tight. You look at the West, them boys still tight. You look at Central, we everywhere.
Yeah.
We all over the place.
Well, we got to do it. I'm going to put it up, and we got to do it. I got a few people to reach out to, man. We got to do it. But, yeah, like I said, I usually have a little wrap-up thing at the end where you're going to do a little fill in the blank. So the first one would be like, confidence is what to you? What would you fill in the blank? Confidence is what?
Confidence is internal.
Okay.
Confidence is internal. You got to know that you have confidence. Like, you have to show it, because people will tell you, but you have to know that you got it inside you for you to say that I'm confident. So confidence is internal.
I love it.
You heard me?
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. What about attitude? Attitude is what?
Man, attitude is character. Your attitude is who you are. Your attitude is what you display and what you give off to people, so they know who you are, so they know when and who you are, so they know when and when not to play with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. So your attitude is basically what you display to people. Like even if it's good or bad, like you have the switch to turn on and off. So that's your attitude. So your attitude is basically who you want to be.
Got you. All right. So what about mindset? Mindset is what?
Your mindset is, I don't know, but that's a good one, right? Your mindset. So all right, I'm gonna speak it on mine. Your mindset is your mindset is quiet, man. Your mindset is just like you. So the thing that you have in your mindset, like what you have in your mind, your goals, your fears and all that. you keep that in your mindset and you use that to drive. You use that to drive your boat, to drive your car. So your mindset is your motor
I
that
love it.
drives you
That's dope.
where you want to be and drive you where you want to go.
That's dope. Hey, that's dope. That's a dope explanation. All right. So
Yeah.
last one is Marcus Daniels is who right now and moving forward?
Man, Marcus Daniels is still Marcus Daniels, man. I'm still that guy was before. I haven't changed a bit. Like I've grown, I've matured, but I'm still that same quiet, under the radar. You know, I'm like the wind.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like the wind. You like, hey man, you feel me, you hear me,
Yeah.
but you would never see me.
God, boom. We're going to end it off on that note right there. Hey.
Really that, though. Really that.
Hey, I got to end it off that. Like I like to say, we all go through that roller coaster in life. Why not have a guide to elevate your mindset?
Elevate. Really that.
Jim, out.
Hey, EJ, man, you